I enjoy using Anchor podcasting services. For one, it's an easy setup. Secondly, you can do everything on the same platform, which includes record and then add music to your podcast if you like. And once your podcast has been saved, you can then distribute it to other platforms with the click of a button. And did I mention that it's free? You couldn't ask for anything better than this. Thank you for tuning into Bringing the Heat with Regina Weston. Here we inspire and deal with topics that matter. Stay tuned. Bringing the Heat listeners. You can visit my website at www.reginaweston.com. And while you are there, you can find all books written by Regina Weston. Titus 2, 3, and 5 says, older women, likewise, are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train the young women to love their husband and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. The title of this podcast is, Who Asked You, Men, to become the spokesperson for women? Did we take a poll, or was there a poll taken that I don't know about? Because if it was, child, I'm here to tell you, Regina Weston missed the memo. I'm confused. I am confused is one of those podcasts in which I am confused. Why have men become the spokesperson for women? I just read y'all Titus 2 and 3. It said for the older women to teach the younger women how to be self-controlled and pure and kind and submissive. I don't see nowhere in there did it give that authority to a man. Some of these men on social media have created platforms to tell women how to be women, to tell women what she should look for in a man, to tell women how they are to behave, to tell women how they are to look, to tell women how they ought to speak. Can someone please send me the memo on who gave men authority over what women want, what women should do when it pertains to a man? The only man that I want to hear from is my daddy. And I'm a full-grown woman with a full-grown husband. You get my drift? I don't need no man trying to teach me a lesson on how to find a good man and how to conduct myself when I am around men. I don't need a man for that. That part comes in when it says, parents, raise your children up in the way that they should go. So somewhere in that, your mama and your father should be instilling information on the do's and don'ts, how to conduct yourself in life matters. That's a parent job, period. So who gave men the authority? I just want to know. And when y'all get the answer, could somebody please send me an email? Because I would really like to have a sit down with that individual. I'm going to read y'all a quote. A man is likely to mind his own business when it's worth minding. When it is not, he takes his mind off his own meaningless affairs by minding other people's business. By Eric Hoffer. Men, go and find yourself some business. You have young men out here in need of direction, instruction. They need mentors. They need big brothers. They need father figures. The women are not your job. We are not your responsibility. I don't need no class to teach me or any other woman how to get a man. Now, that leads me into this, because this is one of the men that feel as though someone gave him the job to talk about us. But what he did was degrade black women. Every now and then, he would say something that was true. From a scale 1 to 100, I'm going to give him 2%. 2% of what he said may have been true, but the rest of it was rubbish. And all these people and all these men that were Kevin Samuels idolizers, I'm not getting it, because a lot of the things he said was degrading. The word of God said, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. You can only draw someone with kind words because they want the best for you. They want to see you grow. They're trying to give you an uplifting hand so that you don't stay in the pit. He didn't say nothing to uplift women. What he did was bash women. And that leads me into this. The same applies to Derrick Jacks, the young man that was telling women that women need to be respected, just to turn around and be exposed because he had a side chick, which means that he was one of the men that he was telling women to look out for. A lot of these men that are taking platforms that's supposed to be uplifting and educational to help women to become their best self, they're hypocrites. They have double lives. These men are scam artists. They are riding the backs of black women. They are using you as pawns in their scheme to make money and degrade you in the process. But get this, 80% of his followers were black women. Is your self-esteem so low that you would feed off a broken man to further his agenda, to break and crack your self-esteem even more? But we live in a world that people would rather eat from a dog pen than to eat from a clean plate where someone is spitting knowledge and trying to educate them and trying to uplift them and trying to help them to become their better selves. You have a right to like what you like, but why would you support that foolishness? Why would you feed a stereotype when many women are getting their face bashed in every single day because of men with the mindset that he had? Now, I'm all for submissiveness and honoring my husband, but baby, it goes both ways. We honor and we respect each other. That's how that works. Men, the Bible, Titus 2, 3, and 5 already told us older women to teach the younger women. So what does that say? Women, get yourself together so that you can teach our young girls how to conduct themselves. What is healthy love? What is unhealthy love? How to carry themselves as women. How to talk. How to be chaste. That's the role of a woman. And I am here to set the record straight. Men, who asked you? Who asked you for your opinion? Ladies, stop supporting the foolishness. Now I'm going to leave y'all with this. My life, my choices, my mistakes, my lessons, not your business. Unless we are your wives, unless we are your girlfriends, unless we are your daughters, unless we are your nieces, then you can speak into our lives and make sure it's constructive. Bringing the heat listeners. If you would like to support this podcast, you can do so through Cash App at $RWeston252. That's $RWeston 252 under the name Regina Redmond. I would like to thank you for your love and your support. Thank you, Bringing the Heat listeners. To listen to this podcast, go to anchorfm.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play, where we bring